Huayang definitely won't treat you badly. Elder Lin Guodong asked directly, since Gu Xingyi said that he was inspired. He believed that Gu Xingyi's song must be very good. After all, he was working at Huayin, but he knew the quality of those songs Gu Xingyi had created recently. To go to the headquarters of Huayin in Kyoto? Gu Xingyi was a bit tempted. This was the headquarters of Huayang, not the Huayin branch in Magic City, but he was a bit hesitant. He still had to take care of Nai Nai. Nai Nai was in school now. He was only free for a while when Nai Nai was in school every day. But Elder Lin had taken the initiative to find himself, and was writing songs for Huayan. This kind of thing, he could not refuse. Gu Xingyi thought for a moment and could only say, Elder Lin, I really can't go to Kyoto on my side. I'm currently at home with my child, who can't be left alone. Do you think this will work? I'll write down the score and lyrics at night and pass them on to you, then record a small sample and send it to you, so you can try it out and see if it's okay? Is that so? That's fine, the child is important. I'll wait for your message tonight. Good. After making an agreement with Elder Lin Guodong, the phone hung up. Gu Xingyi scratched his head. Well, this side of the anime hadn't been fixed yet, and now he had to make a whole song out of it. Sure enough, he was getting farther and farther away from his dream life as a full-time baby daddy. But this is all hopeless. Life is like this, one ring follows another, cause and effect are connected. From the moment he first went to Magic City, he was destined to be like this. Gu Xingyi put the cell phone away, put aside these distractions, turned around and walked into the private room. Returning to the private room, Gu Xingyi suddenly realized that the essence of the crowd was different. They had already finished reading the script, and were now looking at themselves with glowing eyes as they pushed the door in. The slightly older Fu Hongwei was the first to speak. Xingyi, this anime of yours is simply outstanding. I've been in the industry for so many years. This is the first time I've seen such a wonderful national anime. I have a feeling that as long as this anime goes online, it'll definitely kill the explosion in the anime industry. The other four also nodded their heads rapidly. They very much agreed with old brother Hongwei's statement. Gu Xingyi touched his nose at the compliment and was a little embarrassed. This was clearly the original world's Mier Daluo Nyobi, and had nothing to do with him Gu Xingyi. When he was writing the script of One Person Below, he had learned that the anime of this world, especially the national anime, was still stuck in the old animation production kind of level. Even in the last few years, the emergence of those few new national anime, the content of the content also tends to be Japanese anime. When Gu Xingyi was writing this script, he also purposely combined the originally very short first season with the second season to create a new first season. The difference between One Man Down and the national comics of this world is that its background is accompanied by the historical development of China, as well as the elements of various traditional Chinese sects. For example, the line in it that was the hottest in the original world. Wudong Wang Yi, pay respects to the old heavenly master. In one simple sentence, the traditional mountain worship of the country of China appeared, along with the temperament of the two sects. That's why he wasn't surprised that this script was favored by the crowd. He would be damned if it wasn't favored. As long as everyone likes it, it's also my contribution to the national comics. Gu Xingyi returned to his seat and smiled back. When Shen Feng saw that everyone was satisfied, he stood up and pulled Gu Xingyi, insisting that he say a few more words of encouragement. He was undoubtedly happy that Gu Xingyi was recognized by everyone, and as Gu Xingyi's good brother and the company's chief director, he was also happy. Looking at Chen Feng with a look of honor, Gu Xingyi could only stand up again and think seriously before glancing at Chen Feng, the corners of his mouth bringing on a hint of a smile. Then I'll say it? Ahem. You all probably don't know it, but your boss, Chen Feng, is someone who has been through trials and tribulations on this road. Crap. Shut up. Seeing that Gu Xingyi was about to reveal his old self, Chen Feng instantly roared out in a hurry and pounced up to cover Gu Xingyi's mouth to death. Let him say something encouraging, this cub seed. Say this. The crowd all of a sudden became more interested. They still don't know what the boss Chen Feng has gone through. Look at this, there is a big melon. Gu Xingyi even innocently blinked at Chen Feng. The meaning was clearly that you told me to say it. He genuinely felt that there was nothing more encouraging to the crowd here than this. Unfortunately, in the end, Gu Xingyi still didn't get to say as much as he wanted to, and Chen Feng was on guard, his eyes staring at Gu Xingyi like a thief. A group of people ate a big meal, fighting spirit back to the company, Chen Feng to go to the TV station for script approval and a series of other issues. Gu Xingyi would like to do a hands-off, but was pulled by Chen Feng, and let him accompany him to the Media University in a few days to recruit some voice actors in other positions. Because the script of One Man Down was entirely written by Gu Xingyi, no one knew more about the character's voice characteristics than he did. Gu Xingyi agreed after only a little thought. Indeed, no one knew the characteristics of the characters best than him, the person who had seen the anime. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Gu Xingyi, who had returned home, half laying on the sofa, closed his eyes, and carefully recalled the melody of Chasing Dreams' Red Heart, as well as the musical instruments used for the accompaniment, as well as its hissing roar that belonged uniquely to rock music. Since it was what Huayang needed, then he definitely had to make the music the best it could be, without any flaws. Master Lin had recommended him, and he couldn't bring shame to the old man, could he? After thinking for a long time, Gu Xingyi then began to take out a pen and paper to write out the lyrics of the song slowly. He wrote very carefully, even when to use what instruments are labeled in detail. Until more than 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Gu Xingyi only put away the pen. Will create a good song, put away, hurriedly go out to pick up children after school. Came to Jianghua kindergarten door, did not wait a while. Little Nai Nai's figure appeared in the school team. Just her state today is obviously not right. In the past days when the school is out of school she is bouncing and jumping out, but today she flattened the small mouth, a face of a grieved little look. This let come to pick up the baby after school. Gu Xingyi heartbroken to death, he hurriedly walked up. A hand will be small Nai Nai picked up. "Hey Gu, what's wrong with my little princess? Being bullied?" Arriving in her father's arms, Nai Nai was obviously even more aggrieved. Even the small golden peas were flowing out of the side of her eyes. So it was ridiculed by his classmates, Fang Xiao Xiao? It seems to be the little fat guy who said his dad could eat shit, but he's the real fat one, isn't he? Gu Xingyi weighed the little guy in his arms and pondered for a moment. It seemed that he had indeed gained a lot of weight. This was all thanks to Tao Lili's feeding before. Plus during this period of time the little one had fallen in love with snacking. She had indeed gained quite a bit of weight, and even her little face had become rounded. "So you didn't retort back? Fang Xiao Xiao is even fatter than you." Gu Xingyi coaxed the waif in her arms as she walked towards the car. Speaking of which, Nai Nai's little mouth deflated even more. "Oh, I said that, but he said I'll be like him soon. I don't want to be like him." Okay, don't be like him, then Nai Nai will listen to daddy and eat less snacks every day, okay? We won't learn from your Auntie Lele, she's just a little chubby. If Tao Lele was here, she would definitely jump up and punch Gu Xingyi. She's just baby fat. Not fat. Good. Nai Nai nodded her little head earnestly, and in her heart, she also seriously blacklisted Auntie Lele and potato chips. Seeing the little guy like this, Gu Xingyi snickered. Sure enough, a woman, no matter how old she is, can't allow others to call her fat. Even 3-year-old Nai Nai was like that. Gu Xingyi had read a post before that said the fastest way to anger a woman was to say she was fat to her face, and at the time he didn't believe it, but now he did. Back home, even for dinner, Nai Nai ate less. Gu Xingyi accompanied her to watch a cartoon for a while before putting the little one to bed. Now in kindergarten, little Nai Nai is basically around 8 o'clock at night to sleep. After the little one fell asleep, Gu Xingyi tiptoed up, came to the living room, and will be the lyrics and music seriously over again, to determine that there is no problem, sent to Lin Guodong old master. The old man had obviously been waiting for him, and not long after the message was sent over, his phone called. "Xiao Gu, you are truly amazing. With these lyrics, this tune, I dare affirm to you that this song will be chosen." Elder Lin's excited voice came through the receiver, and Gu Xingyi slightly moved the phone away from his ear. That's good, as long as Elder Lin thinks it's okay. More than okay. That's the only thing you're not good at, Xiao Gu, you're too modest. In front of this song of yours, those previous songs really can't be summarized in a single word. You're really a musical genius. Hearing Elder Lin say this, Gu Xingyi was somewhat at a loss for how to reply, and could only laugh awkwardly twice. What music genius, he is just a mediocre time mover, the best rock song of the year, the gold content naturally no all understand. Gu Xingyi silently recited the original singer, Big Brother Nyobi, in his heart as Elder Lin's words continued to come through the earpiece. Xiao Gu, don't worry. When this song is chosen, you definitely won't be treated any worse. Pursuing dreams with the heart of a red sun. What a red sun's heart, I really like it. Then I'll thank Elder Lin here first? Gu Xingyi laughed. Another small amount of money was coming into the account, and it was still from Huayan. Just nice. Xiao Gu, it's us who should thank you. You're good at everything, but you're just too modest. People with talent shouldn't be so modest. You have to be open-minded. Lin Guodong's words came out of the phone again, and this time Gu Xingyi listened carefully. He was originally a small lyricist in his original world, and now that he had come here, his thinking hadn't completely shifted yet, so he had always acted modestly, but Elder Lin's words had awakened him. In the eyes of others in this world, he was a genius. The kind of genius who pressurized the entertainment industry and couldn't breathe. Did this kind of genius need to be so modest? No need. Although it was wrong to be proud of one's talent, it was also wrong to be overly humble. Lin Guodong woke up the dreamer with a word, and Gu Xingyi, who had reacted, held the phone and said a thank you to Lin Guodong in a very solemn manner. This cry of thanks put Lin Guodong in a whole blank stare for a moment before he reacted. This kid should be aware of how much talent he has. Good. Just as long as you can figure it out. This time it's a specific promotional program for Huayan. I'll tell you tomorrow when there's news. By then the contract is a series of things. I'll send it to you by email to sign. Good. Gu Xingyi agreed. Lin Guodong's side was also going to rest, so the two hung up the phone. According to Elder Lin's words, the matter of pursuing the dream of the red heart should be the nail in the coffin. Gu Xingyi sat on the sofa and did not immediately go to sleep. he used his fingers to gently tap the curved manuscript paper on the coffee table, quietly thinking about something. There were no words for the night. In the next few days, Master Lin's side had news. On the second day, Huayang had confirmed that they wanted the song, and the contract was sent over. The song license fee was 400,000 yuan, and after the show the song would be uploaded to the Huayin in major music platforms. But the song will not be charged, but a free system, anyone can listen to the complete song, only traffic revenue, these will all belong to Gu Xingyi all. Of course, all of these fees will only be given to Gu Xingyi after Huayang's program this time, which is scheduled to air at the end of the month. This is already very fast, only more than a week less time. This is still because the Central China has long prepared the program some material, now the song has, they are waiting for the selection of people to sing and with the material on the line. Gu Xingyi also quickly signed the contract, not to mention that the price given by Huayang side has been very fair, just to say that in the Huayang program on their own name, is a thing to be proud of. On Chen Feng's side, Xingyao Animation's script also successfully passed the TV station's review. He was even busier this time, even walking flies. The company has just stepped into the right track, everything is thriving, he is tired and happy. Gu Xingyi's life peacefully and steadily. The entertainment industry at this time is the wind and clouds up. Xia Shiyao give more and more pressure. Today's online, Hot Search 10/8 are about Xia Shiyao new song will be released soon. There are two more, one of them is still before the Star Song We final second phase of the Water Army voting event. There is no heat, there is no traffic, unconsciously, everyone's head is shrouded in a layer of shadow. The industry gossip is also getting louder and louder. The first to bear the brunt was Tianmei Entertainment, who had previously thrown out an olive branch to Gu Xingyi, but hadn't received a response until now. In the Tianmei Entertainment headquarters building, the high-level meeting was once again convened. Lu Gao's face was somber as he looked at the directors sitting around him. He now had a thorough understanding of the ins and outs of all the things that had happened during this period of time. A single person can completely revitalize this stagnant water of the entertainment circle. I really don't know whether to say that you guys are losers or that he is too powerful. What were you guys doing when Xia Shiyao just had the beginnings of a fire? At that time, if you just controlled the number of votes at will, would Xia Shiyao have a chance to become what she is today? Looking at the chairman's anger, the company management sitting below were silenced. A director sitting next to Lu Gao's left-hand table gave a dry laugh and took the lead to open his mouth. Chairman, this can't be blamed on everyone. After all, no one expected her to rise up so quickly, so that people simply can't react to come. Now it is imperative to consider what to deal with next. Who knows that when he heard this, Lu Gao became even more furious. He slapped the table hard. Can't react? The first song Gu Xingyi took to Xia Shiyao took over all the hot searches. Now you're telling me that you guys can't react? The first song in the first place, The Wind Rises. Did you guys listen to it or not? Is this song something that can come out in the entertainment industry now? Besides, before this song came out, the song, As Long as It's Ordinary, are you deaf? The person who can make Huayin personally choose the song and write this kind of song, you guys didn't go to communicate as early as possible or go to suppress it as early as possible, and now you guys are telling me that you can't react? The more Lu Gao spoke, the more angry he became. He really felt that he was raising a group of drunkards. Don't be angry, don't be angry, didn't we have Sound Sea Entertainment to protect her before? It's not good for us to make unauthorized decisions. Now that things have happened, it's better to think about the countermeasures first. The singers below now have a lot of grievances, there can't be any more delays. It was still that director, who wiped the false sweat from his forehead and continued to persuade. He also didn't want to speak at this time who left this place in addition to Lu Gao. Only his shares are the largest, with Lu Gao's relationship is also the best. Lu Gao was also just knocking on them first. Things have happened, now that the knocking is done, it's time to step into the main topic of the meeting. Block it. Issue a notice informing all the businesses under our company's name that they are prohibited from having any interests with Sound Sea Entertainment. If they move this piece of cake first, don't blame us for coming down hard on them. And then notify those all media outlets, including advertisers, as well as partner companies that we're working with, that if anyone has a partnership with Xia Shiyao, we'll terminate our contract with them after this period of contract ends. Put this decision of mine into effect as soon as possible, in addition to contacting Shengshire Entertainment again to let them know this news. Tian Xingqi, that old man of the soil, will definitely understand what I mean. After Lu Gao finished his words, a director next to him immediately opened his mouth with a worried face. Chairman Lu, isn't this a bit of a fuss? This is equivalent to going to war with Sound Sea Entertainment. Our losses will be great. Hearing this, Lu Gao however waved his hand with a winning expression. Yang Xian, isn't a fool. If we lose a lot, he'll lose even more. He understands us and won't die to protect Xia Shiyao. As soon as these words came out, that director pondered for a moment and finally nodded his head. Within a short time, a message that shook the entire entertainment circle came into the ears of the major companies. Tianmei Entertainment had decided to block Xia Shiyao. Block Xia Shiyao? All the major small and medium-sized entertainment companies were confused. This Tianmei Entertainment was going to do something big. If it was to block a singer with little backstage and little traffic, they could still understand. After all, this was something they had all done. But to block a popular singer without any bad deeds for no reason is very easy to storm the lightning. At present, only the three giant companies dare to do so. And even with the big three, it's rare for this to happen. The last time something like this happened was last time, and it was also a famous director from Tianmei Entertainment who tried to subvert a star, but was publicly mocked back by that star sending out a roundup blog. After that star faded out of the entertainment circle and was completely blocked. But this time, the situation was different again. Last time, that star herself was someone from Tianmei Entertainment, and didn't have any particularly big background behind her. But Xia Shiyao? She was an employee of another giant, Sound Sea Entertainment, and it was more than that. There was also a monster of a husband standing behind her. Almost a few days of a divine song, hanging the existence of the entertainment industry. Was Tianmei Entertainment stupid? All the small and medium-sized entertainment companies looked at each other in disbelief. Some of them couldn't believe it and some of them hoped that it was true. After all, if they really succeeded in blocking Xia Shiyao, the benefits they gained would definitely be greater. At this moment, these small and medium-sized companies didn't immediately make a move, but chose to uniformly wait and see. Their companies were small. They couldn't withstand the ravages of any big storms and waves. They were now watching to see how Sound and Sea Entertainment would react, to see what Shangshi Entertainment would do, to see how those capital manufacturers would choose, and to see which side the media would take. For a while, the entire entertainment circle was surging with dark currents. On the surface, it was peaceful, but in reality, underneath, it had long been noisy. In Shangshi Entertainment, Tian Xingqi convened a meeting again. This was already the second meeting held by several major entertainment companies because of one person. In the conference room, there was a lot of noise. Basically everyone had their own viewpoints. Some thought that this was prone to lightning storms. Shangshi Entertainment shouldn't get involved. Some thought that Xia Shiyao's existence also affected their company's interests, and that they should support Tianmei. Tian Xingqi just squinted his green bean eyes and took a nap, not paying the slightest attention to the crowd, until after half a day, everyone realized that the chairman didn't say anything, and only then did he stop. The conference room quieted down. Only then did Tian Xingqi hold up the gold-framed round glasses on the bridge of his nose and laughed. Why don't you argue anymore? Wasn't the noise quite lively just now? The crowd snapped and laughed. Don't look at this Lao Dang who was usually kind, but he was the one who actually started from nothing, all the way from opening a mining area into such a giant entertainment company as it is now. How could this kind of person be as kind as he appears to be? As we all know, in the entertainment industry, our triumvirate is the benchmark and the community of interest. For so many years, we all know it by heart. Although our main development direction is not above the music scene, but we can't allow such a potential threat to exist. However, we can't cheapen that old fox Lu Gao for nothing. Didn't they send someone to contact us? In that case, on the movie and television side, don't we happen to have a new project that we're fighting with Tianmei over? Let him spit it out and we won't need him to worry about it on our side. Tian Xingqi said with an airy face. The eyes of the people in the conference room couldn't help but light up. It was still the same director from last time who immediately picked up the conversation. Wonderful. It's worthy of being Chairman Tian. This plan of killing two birds with one stone is truly marvelous. It turns out that the chairman had thought of all this before when he voted in the Star Song exchange. That's why he sent a heavenly king to participate. Chairman Tian is really far-sighted. Tian Xingqi laughed. The more he looked at this director named Ma Liang, the better he looked. As for Sound Sea Entertainment, a meeting was also being held at this moment, and the conference room was equally noisy, especially Yang Lin and Zhang Chao, who had a rare red face at this moment. The two of them, they were the ones who had witnessed Gu Xingyi's journey from nothing, step by step, to today, and they were the only ones who understood how terrifying Gu Xingyi was. As for Yang Xian, he just crossed his arms with a calm face and didn't take a stance. Yang Lin was a bit angry to see her father like this, although she was Yang Envy's daughter, but the company had no father and daughter, and in public, she was only a vice minister. Chairman Yang, can you old man say a few words? How exactly did you decide to give a quick word? Others didn't dare to question Yang Xian like this. But Yang Lin dared to. She had a stern face and angrily asked her father. At the beginning of the contract, 2 years, give top resources, top freedom. If we break the contract, Gu Xingyi will take her away. We won't have any loss, so let's snowball Xia Shiyao. Notify down the road, all the resources are withdrawn. Dismiss the meeting. Yang Xian still spoke these words calmly. Yang Lin was immediately furious. She felt how his father was becoming more and more timid. The opposite side was a giant company, but they weren't? Need to be afraid of their threats? Of course, there was also a happy presence in the conference room. The singers under them didn't have any need to eat right now. They also had a belly full of grievances. Hearing Yang Xian's words, the other company executives dispersed, only Yang Jialin came to stand in the conference room. Dad, I need you to give me an answer. Facing Yang Envy, Yang Jianlin did not have the slightest fear and stared at him angrily. Yang Envy, however, suddenly let out a laugh with an inexplicable expression on his face as he looked towards his daughter who was angry and hurriedly stood up and walked over to her, calming her down. Xiaolin, you sit down first and listen to Dad slowly explain to you, okay? In front of outsiders, the high and cold Yang Lin, in front of her own father at the moment is like a little aggravated bag, pouting her lips, obediently sat down, and skimmed her face to stop looking at him. Yang Xian smiled bitterly. Only those with daughters know that no matter how powerful they are outside, in front of their daughters, they are all daughter slaves. Xiaolin, haven't you ever wondered why Gu Xingyi sent Xia Shuriao to our Sound Sea and signed a contract like that in the first place? I won't talk about the top resources, the top freedom, but it's inside this treaty, 2 years, we all have to give it like that, and if we don't do it, he can take away Xia Shuriao at any time without having to pay any liquidated damages. I have to say, Gu Xingyi is really the smartest young man I've ever seen, and he has likewise given us the right to choose. Within 2 years, if we keep following the contract, then all is happy. If we haven't done so, it may seem like we're each going back to our own homes, and no one will lose anything, but in reality, he's won valuable time and pre-development. After Yang Xian finished these words, his mind couldn't help but recall Gu Xingyi sitting in this conference room at that time, with that unassuming demeanor and self-confidence, and now it seems that he had already thought of a back way. After hearing this, Yang Lin froze for a while before looking at Yang Xian with wide eyes, her face full of incredulity. Dad, what do you mean? Gu Xingyi has long since left himself a way out? Seeing that his daughter still couldn't believe it, Yang Xian could only nod his head and put his hands on Yang Lin's shoulders, saying in a serious tone, I don't want to let Xia Shuriao go either, but if we go hard with Tianmei Entertainment, we'll only lose both, and there's still a Shengshi Entertainment watching from the outside, as well as large and small entertainment companies, who are all staring at this place. The company's interests outweigh everything, we can only let her go. And after letting her go, do you think Gu Xingyi will be left without a way out? The couple now isn't the same silent, nameless existence they were back then. If it was when they chose to open an entertainment company and develop on their own, the best outcome would be nothing more than Gu Xingyi bringing Xia Shuriao to develop obscenely and secretly, as well as carefully avoiding the sights of major entertainment companies. Far from being like this now, with their backs against us, we, Soundsea, don't owe them, we gave them the platform to make a name for themselves in the early stages. Yang Xian finished speaking in one breath, looking towards Yang Lin who was still in a stagnant state, and letting out a silent sigh in his heart. If his daughter also had the same backing as Gu Xingyi, where would he have used to explain so much today? Xia Shuriao, what a lucky woman! Regardless of how the showbiz industry was in turmoil at the moment, what was presented to the public was still peaceful. The netizens were still talking about what the new songs in Xia Shuriao's album would be, and what programs Xia Shuriao would participate in after the album, a series of topics that they couldn't seem to get enough of. The netizens' ears were never satisfied, although they were still listening to the previous songs with full lost sound quality, they were already looking forward to Gu Xingyi's new songs. At this moment, Xia Shuriao, who had just finished recording the last song in her album, was sitting in her own exclusive lounge, resting, while Tao Luolu was lying in front of the table, organizing Xia Shuriao's schedule afterward. These days can give them exhausted, all day long, in addition to recording songs, is running publicity, the schedule is arranged after the dance activities. Xia Shuriao rubbed her shoulders, took out her cell phone, opened WeChat, above and Gu Xingyi's chat records are still fixed in last night. Looking at the chat records on WeChat, Xia Shuriao couldn't help but hang a light smile on her face. Yesterday, Nai seemed to have kicked the quilt. I don't know what time Gu Xingyi went to sleep. Thinking of this, Xia Shuriao's face rose another even red. Nai follows her. Sleep is not honest. At this time, the door of the lounge was suddenly pushed open. Xia Shuriao and Tao Lele looked up at the same time. It was Sister Yun who came back, only Sister Yun's face seemed to be very bad. Sister Yun? Did something happen? Xia Shuriao put down her cell phone and raised her eyes to ask. Shuriao, something happened, the company has cancelled all your trips afterward. And it won't provide any more resources in the future. I just received the news. It should be that someone outside has blocked you. Blocking? Why? As soon as Tao Lele heard this, she immediately jumped up, even her eyes widened. What right do they have to block Sister Shuriao? Sister Shuriao didn't do anything. Xia Shuriao also furrowed her brows. She didn't know what was going on even now. Sister Yun took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in her heart. She just had a fight with those management in the company, especially that Lena's manager. That look of looking at a joke really owed her a beating. It should be because Xiaodio is too hot right now, moving other people's cakes, this kind of thing. No one dares to do this except the three giant companies. Either Tianmei has pressurized, or Shangshi, or possibly, it's them acting together. Sister Yin had been an agent for so many years, she was still very sensitive to the dynamics of the entertainment industry. Before she was afraid that Xia Shiyao's tree was too big, she didn't expect that. Now it had come true, and it wasn't suppression, it was a direct blockade. Then what should we do now? Is the company going to hide Xia Shiyao? Tao Lele was a bit anxious, looking at Xia Shiyao with a worried face. Sister Yin also looked at Xia Shiyao. Shiyao, notify Gu Xingyi. Only he has a solution now. I've read the contract. If Soundsea Company breaches the contract, we can leave at any time. Right. Inform Gu Xingyi. Sister Shiyao, quickly call and tell your man that you're being bullied. As soon as Tao Lele heard Gu Xingyi's name, her eyes immediately lit up. Right. There was still that monster Gu Xingyi. They weren't afraid of it. Xia Shiyao only hesitated a little before nodding her head as well. She knew that now was not the time to be melodramatic, and that she and Gu Xingyi were already different from before. Last time something happened, she didn't tell Gu Xingyi because she still had concerns in her heart, but now, she didn't have that concern anymore. Today is Saturday, Gu Xingyi is taking Nai Nai in the shopping mall shopping, to Nai Nai to buy new clothes. As a baby daddy, the daughter will be beautifully dressed as the nature of the baby daddy. The shopping guide was trying on new clothes for Nai Nai in the fitting room, and Gu Xingyi was sitting alone on the sofa bench outside, waiting, when the phone rang. Gu Xingyi picked up the phone and looked at the caller ID, the corners of his eyebrows rising involuntarily. Hello? Why are you free to call me at noon today? Gu nerd, I've been blocked. A simple sentence caused Gu Xingyi's rising eyebrow corners to fall straight down, and his eyes became serious. Blocked? What a big deal, huh? What did Soundsea Entertainment say? All my trips afterward have been cancelled, and the resources have been stopped. Ha! Playing quite big? Gu Xingyi only took a moment to think and realize the intentions of Soundsea Entertainment. When he sent Xia Shiyao to Soundsea Entertainment, he also had the intention of relying on a big tree. Unexpectedly, the big tree could not be relied on now. Okay, I know, wait for me, I'll go over now. Xia Shiyao softly hummed, only the tone of her voice clearly showed that the owner of the voice was a bit happy at the moment. Then hang up first. Don't worry, everything is with me. As the phone hung up, the shopping guide lady walked over just in time to hold Nai Nai, who had changed into her new clothes. Nai Nai in her new clothes was even more like a little princess in a fairy tale, and the two little bows tied around her head kept swinging with her smiling face. Gu Xingyi took Nai Nai from the shopper's hands, put away the old clothes, paid again, and then carried the little one towards the exit. Nai Nai, let's go lie down at mommy's place, okay? Gu Xingyi smiled while pinching little Nai Nai's chubby little face. Hearing mommy, Nai Nai's eyes instantly lit up, then curved into a crescent moon. Good ack. Nai Nai also misses mommy. Good. Then let's go now. Yes. And this time, we'll bring mommy home. A large and small figure walked towards the mall's parking lot, the sound of cheerful laughter echoing under the bright sky. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Gu Xingyi arrived at the Sound and Sea Entertainment Mansion. Parking the car and hugging little Nai Nai, Gu Xingyi walked straight in. Along the way, many people saw Gu Xingyi holding the child. They already knew the truth of the matter, their eyes were a bit evasive, and couldn't help but secretly glance at Gu Xingyi stepping into the elevator. They knew that Xia Shiyao's biggest card had come, and they were curious as to how this man, who had risen to fame in the entertainment industry as soon as he appeared, would handle this incident. All the way to the 12th floor unhindered, pushed open the door of Xia Shiyao's lounge room. Xia Shiyao, Sister Yun, and Tao Lele were currently sitting on the sofa talking about things. Their faces all looked a bit sad. After all, this matter is really tricky. So far, no one has been able to turn around under the giant company's blockade. Hearing the sound of the door opening, they looked up, and when they saw the visitor, a trace of joy appeared on their faces. Gu Xingyi finally came. Hello, ladies, why are all of you looking sad? Gu Xingyi smiled and greeted them with a relaxed look, a look that brought all three of them to a slightly relaxed mood. Mom, hug. Daddy said he's going to bring you home today. Oh. Nai Nai's face was even more smiling. The first time the little guy saw his mom, he opened his hand to jump into his mom's arms. Xia Shiyao stood up and smoothly took little Nai Nai from Gu Xingyi's arms. The moment she saw her daughter's smiling face, all the worries in her heart disappeared into thin air. She kissed the little one's little face affectionately, then pretended to exaggerate. Yeah. Who is this little chubby guy? Or is it my family, Nai Nai? As soon as Gu Xingyi heard Xia Shiyao's words, he immediately realized that he was going to suffer, and sure enough, after hearing his mother's words, little Nai Nai's little mouth immediately deflated, and his happy smile just now disappeared, and he looked at his mother with wide open eyes in resignation. No longer the good mom she used to be. The group of people were amused by the little one's quick change of face. Tao Lele jumped over and wanted to tease the little one too, but little Nai Nai turned her face away in disgust. She remembered that her father had said that it was this fat aunt who had caused her to become fat by giving her snacks. Gu Xingyi also laughed twice. This atmosphere of a family gathering together really made him feel comfortable. He walked forward and pulled up Xia Shiyao's hand, smiling. Wife, wait for me, since I'm leaving, how can I greet the others? When the greetings are done, then I'll take you home, let's go develop ourselves obscenely. Ah, Xia Shiyao, who was pulled by her hand, her face slightly red, her heart was even a little sweet, she just softly mumbled, no matter what Gu Xingyi would do, in her heart, she was incomparably convinced of every decision he made. After Gu Xingyi finished speaking, he looked up and looked at Sister Yun and Tao Lele, nodding with them. The sadness in Sister Yun and Tao Lele's hearts was also washed away by Gu Xingyi's air of talk and laughter, and both of them smiled. Once again looking for the road to Yang Lin's office, Gu Xingyi heart some sighs, the last time to come here the scene is still vaguely in front of us, did not expect, once again patronize, is the time to go their separate ways. Without much thought, Gu Xingyi knocked on the door, inside Yang Jianlin's familiar voice sounded, Gu Xingyi pushed the door and entered. Vice Minister Yang, long time no see. Being busy with her work, Yang Jianlin couldn't stop her body from stiffening when she heard this voice. She looked up and saw Gu Xingyi's kind of gentle smiling face, just like that day when she picked him up at the station. A stranger like Jade, a male in the world, that's the kind of person he's talking about, isn't it? Unfortunately, fate was never on his side, and when he met the wrong person at the wrong time, he could only laugh it off. Yang Lin smiled, raised her eyes to look directly at the man in front of her who was already sitting in front of the chair. I guess that you would move over immediately, I didn't expect it to be so fast. Yeah, long time no see, mister. Gu Xingyi shrugged his shoulders with a helpless face. Wife has something to do, I as a husband must be diligent. Talk about business, the purpose of this time I come you should also know, since you guys defaulted on the contract, then I can only take Xia Shiyao away. Your personnel department, I can only find you, forgive me the contract is troublesome. Yang Lin put away the documents on the table and nodded. It's fine, I was also the one who introduced you to the company in the first place, now I'm here to handle the departure, it's only right, however, my father would like to see you, I don't know if it's possible? Of course it's possible, it's good that Chairman Yang can see me, why don't we go over there now? We still have to rush to pack up and go home in the afternoon. Without the slightest hesitation, Gu Xingyi directly agreed to meet. He still had a good impression of Soundsea Entertainment. As for the decision that Soundsea Entertainment had made, he could also figure it out. After all, a company couldn't possibly go against another company for an employee. Good. Then let's go now. Yang Lin did not delay, directly took the lead and stood up to walk towards the door. Gu Xingyi also stood up with her, following behind. The two of them walked on the road one after the other, without much communication. This time they met. Their relationship seemed to be a bit more rusty than before when they first met. All the way to the chairman's office, Yang Xian seems to have been waiting here for a long time. When he saw Gu Xingyi, he didn't have a little surprise. Instead, he poured a cup of tea and put it in front of Gu Xingyi. Xiaogu came come, drink tea. Gu Xingyi sat down obediently, gently sipped the tea, and a smile was put on his face. Chairman Yang is polite. I also want to thank you for taking care of my wife during this period of time. Really many thanks. Yang Xian also smiled. He looked at the Gu Xingyi in front of him who was just like that day, with some emotion. This thank you, I'll take it. I didn't expect it would be such a short time. We're going our separate ways. It's also because we're not capable of leaving Xia Shiyao behind. However, your purpose should have been accomplished as well, shouldn't it? Gu Xingyi and Yang Xian glanced at each other. Both of them were like thousand-year-old foxes with a smile in their eyes. Chairman Yang, you're blaming me wrongly. At first, I genuinely wanted Xia Shiyao to join your company. I didn't have any other ideas. Gu Xingyi said frankly. In fact, in the beginning he really wanted Xia Shiyao to have her back against a big tree. It's just that at that time he ignored the original world's underpinnings. The original world's underpinnings made him extremely talented and threatening in other people's eyes. It was only after that phone call with Elder Lin that he was enlightened, and at that time, he was considering what to do if even the big tree of Soundsea Entertainment couldn't cover up the original world's underpinnings. Fortunately, he had already thought of a countermeasure, or Master Lin's words, people with talent shouldn't be so modest. Yang Xian just smiled when he heard Gu Xingyi's words, not commenting on it. He took out Xia Shiyao's contract, placed it on the table and continued. The contract is also here. From now on, Xia Shiyao has no relationship with our company. The copyrights of those songs are also in Xia Shiyao's hands, so I can only say that we, Soundsea Entertainment, are considered to be working for you for nothing this time. Only earning a good reputation with Huayin. You kid has earned a lot. Yang Xian returned the contract to Gu Xingyi, shaking his head and looking helpless. When Gu Xingyi saw Yang Xian in such a posture, he pondered for a moment and immediately stretched out a hand. 5 songs? I will create 5 songs for free for Soundsea Entertainment. Just contact me when Chairman Yang thinks of who to give them to. This was also considered to be a repayment to Soundsea Entertainment, and those who treated people with sincerity would be treated with sincerity. After giving Xia Shiyao the resources, Soundsea Entertainment had never asked Gu Xingyi for any of their songs until now. This was their sincerity and their gesture of goodwill. Gu Xingyi gave back 5 songs, which was considered a thank you to Soundsea Entertainment for taking care of Xia Shiyao during this time, as well as a gesture of goodwill to Soundsea Entertainment. 5 songs? Yang Xian pondered for a moment. This was pretty much what he expected in his mind, bearing in mind that Gu Xingyi had only released a few songs in total up until now. They had only provided Xia Shiyao with a platform, and they had harvested 5 songs, which was already fine. Good. Little Gu, this is what you said, huh? Then I'll be obliged if there's a need in the future, huh? Yang Xian smiled and stood up, shaking hands with Gu Xingyi. Yang Lin just stood on the side, watching this pair of big and small foxes fighting wit, only to feel that she was really still too young. She didn't know until now that things could be talked about in this way. Neither one of them explicitly said anything, but each knew what the other meant. After chatting with Yang Xian for a while longer, Gu Xingyi got up to leave. The purpose of this visit had been accomplished. There was no need to stay here any longer. Back on the 16th floor, in Xia Shiyao's exclusive lounge, several of them had already packed up their things. They knew that since Gu Xingyi said that he would bring Xia Shiyao home, he must have already made plans to follow up. Just before they left, the 3 of them were still a little reluctant to look at the luxurious lounge in front of them. When they first came here, they liked it very much, but they didn't expect that they would have to leave without having stayed in this lounge for a few times. Gu Xingyi saw a few people who were a little reluctant to leave. He scratched his head and didn't say too much. Instead of painting a big cake now, it would be better to see his actual actions afterward, and he also believed in himself that he would definitely let a few people have a better lounge. Leaving from Sound and Sea Entertainment and arriving at the artist apartment, the 3 of them stuffed the 2 cars to the brim with large bags and small luggage, and handed everything over with Yang Lin, before the several people drove off in the direction of Jiangcheng. This trip to the Magic City trip, for Xia Shiyao 3 people, as if a dream. The last time the scene full of ambition to come here seems to be yesterday, did not expect, in the blink of an eye, and to go back. Tao Lele looked at the scenery flying past outside the car window. A moment of some size, she turned back to look at Sister Yun who was driving. Sister Yun, what do you think Gu Xingyi will do next? Sister Yun shook her head, but a hint of a smile appeared on her face. I don't know, but I'm sure he has a way. It's like when he went to the hospital to find me. In him, I can see that kind of self-confidence that others don't have. Taluola nodded with seeming understanding, and continued to look out the window. She also realized that she didn't know when it started. The Gu Xingyi who originally made her hate him had already turned into the backbone of the crowd. When the crowd arrived at Jiangcheng, the sky had already darkened. Taluola will go with Sister Yun to stay at her home tonight, and after several people agreed to meet at Gu Xingyi's home tomorrow, they parted ways. After returning home, little Nai Nai who received her mom was obviously still very energetic. It was already past 7 p.m. The little guy was still not sleepy at all, and he refused to come out by relying on Xia Shiyao's arms. To know since the kindergarten, she has developed good habits. In the past this time, is Gu Xingyi to tell her fairy tales to coax her to sleep time. However, tomorrow is Sunday, still a day of vacation. Gu Xingyi did not restrain her too much. The family of 3 simply had a dinner. After dinner, under the strong request of the little one, Gu Xingyi and Xia Shiyao could only accompany the little Nai Nai nestled in the clouds on the sofa and watched cartoons. Xia Shiyao and little Nai Nai once again shrunk into Gu Xingyi's arms left and right, making Gu Xingyi quite the head of the family at the moment, and also making Gu Xingyi's face all smiles. Sure enough, or a family reunion, the feeling is the best. Usually only small Nai Nai around, he always felt that there is something missing in life. Under the warm light, not big living room, from time to time came small Nai Nai happy laughter, accompanied by cartoons. From time to time sounded the sound of animation sound effects. The small home, the atmosphere of happiness is more and more thick. After watching 2 episodes of the cartoon, not enough animation addiction, little Nai Nai was Xia Shiyao dragged away to wash up. Gu Xingyi smiled, stretched comfortably. We'll turn off the TV. When Xia Shiyao and Nai Nai finished washing back to the bedroom, he also took a shower, and only then climbed onto the bed in a happy manner. To this big a small fairy tale, Nai Nai soon fell asleep in the fairy tale. Gu Xingyi carefully turned off the lights, lay down his body ready to sleep. Just not much time, a hot petite body crossed the center of the small Nai Nai, drilled into his arms. Gu Xingyi instantly lost his sleepiness. He lowered his head and reached out his hand to gently pinch Xia Shiyao's rounded face. The feel was a little better than before again. In the darkness, he could hear Xia Shiyao's slightly rapid breathing and heartbeat, and in the next moment, he closed his eyes and searched for Xia Shiyao's lips and kissed them. Xia Shiyao hummed lightly, her body only stiffened slightly and then softened. A small farewell was better than a new marriage. Both of them were rather oblivious at this time. Until for a long time, lips parted, Xia Shiyao's hands propped up Gu Xingyi's body. Her breathing was a little short, but she still somewhat angrily plucked away Gu Xingyi's big hands that were still doing strange things on her body, and whispered, "Not now, it'll wake up Nai Nai." Gu Xingyi was equally uncomfortable. His throat was a little dry, and he swallowed hard to suppress the agitation in his own heart. "I know, I'll go take a shower." After saying that, he took a deep breath, carefully rolled over and got up, and scurried out in a puff of smoke. He was afraid that if he stayed any longer, he wouldn't be able to control himself, such as Xia Shiyao was so tantalizing. It seems, The matter of arranging a separate room for little Nai Nai had to be put on the agenda. Seriously took a cold shower, washed Guxingyi without desire. The weather at the end of September, already not so hot, especially at night, Guxingyi now only felt cold, without any other thoughts. Once again, he burrowed back under the covers and embraced Xia Shiyao into his arms. This time neither of them moved in any different way. Outside the night was very thick, inside the house the two embraced each other. Slowly, both fell into a deep sleep. There was no more talk for the night. The next day, not only did Sister Yun and Taoluo Lele both came to Guxingyi's home, even Chen Feng was greeted by Guxingyi. This was also considered Chen Feng's first official meeting with everyone. It was just that this meeting was obviously not as peaceful as Guxingyi thought it would be. Inside the room at the moment, Taoluo Lele and Chen Feng were staring at each other with wide eyes, hostile to each other, and in the middle of the two, the innocent little Nai Nai was blinking her big eyes, and she didn't understand why this uncle and auntie in front of her had to quarrel. Obviously I was here first. Nai Nai should be brought by me. Although Taoluo Lele was a bit smaller in size and stature than Chen Feng, she was not the least bit weak in her aura, and was currently pulling one of Nai Nai's small hands, glaring angrily at Chen Feng. What? Ah! You're the one who has to bring it if you're here first. Nai Nai obviously likes my gift. Look, she's still holding the toy I gave her in her hand right now. And what do you have? Chen Feng condescendingly looked down at Mamalu Lele. The expression on his face was even more bitchy. Looking at Mamalu Lele just wanted to jump up and punch him. Alright. I didn't ask you guys to come over here for you to argue. And Nana isn't yours either. It's mine. Guxingyi helplessly rubbed his temples and took little Nai Nai, who was in the middle of the two, into his arms. At this, the two turned their heads at the same time to glare at Guxingyi, who had carried away little Nai Nai. This guy, really exasperating. Ignoring the two's grim expressions, Guxingyi hugged little Nai Nai and sat down on the sofa. Tao Lele exasperatedly ran to Xia Shiyao's side. Holding Xia Shiyao's arm was a burst of violent shaking. The meaning was obviously, you quickly control your family's mouth, he bullies people. Chen Feng is also full of reluctance. He only hugged the little one when he first arrived, and before he could warm it up, there was a Tao Lele who grabbed it with him, and now it's good, even Guxingyi is involved in it. Old Gu, you called me here just to piss me off, right? Chen Feng said with a long trailing voice. Guxingyi, however, didn't continue the topic, but waved his hand and said, calling you here is to discuss something with you. Seeing Guxingyi come down with a straight face, the few people stopped playing around and all listened with a serious face. Madman, I want to create an entertainment company. Well, the name is Star Yao Entertainment. If you're not doing anything lately, help me look for a suitable venue. The initial scale doesn't have to be too big. After all, we don't have much manpower right now. When several people heard Guxingyi's words, they all looked a little joyful, especially Sister Yun and Tao Lele. When they heard that Guxingyi was going to create an entertainment company, they were all a little excited in their hearts. This was creating a company of their own. In the future, they would no longer have to look at other people's faces. Although this kind of thing felt a bit heavenly, coming from Guxingyi's mouth, it always gave people a sense of conviction. Chen Feng didn't feel surprised when he heard it. He also knew about Xia Shiyao's banning when he arrived. Now that Guxingyi was going to set up an entertainment company, it made sense that he and Taoluo Lu and Sister Yun had different horizons, so naturally, he wouldn't be surprised by this. Chen Feng only thought about it for a little while before his eyes lit up. He was busy walking up with a joyful look on his face. Laogu, the commercial building that our company is in right now, one of the floors just happens to be rented out and hasn't been taken down yet. I think it would be great there. And when the time comes, we can move the two companies together, with Star Yao Animation as a subsidiary underneath Star Yao Entertainment. Star Yao Animation, integrated, very convenient. That 10-story commercial building in the center of Zhangcheng? It was indeed a good place and convenient. As an initial company location, it was indeed fine there, and later on, once the company was red hot, it would be fine to find a new place. Then Madman, you go talk about it first? If it's okay, a week later, we'll officially go over to sign the contract. Guxingyi made a good choice after just a little thought. Why a week later? Chen Feng asked with some puzzlement. If the time dragged on after a week, he would have to find a way to delay the date of renting the room as well. Guxingyi was somewhat speechless. Why else? He didn't have that much money right now. Moreover, there were still things that hadn't happened yet that had to wait for a while, and now wasn't the best time to do so. Because, I'm going to let the bullets fly for so long first. Guxingyi looked at the several people's puzzled looks and smiled and finally said, time passes very quickly. In the blink of an eye, September is coming to an end, and a week has passed since Xia Shiyao returned to Jiangcheng. At this time, the majority of netizens online who were still waiting for Xia Shiyao's latest album, but slowly found something wrong. I don't know from when, online about Xia Shiyao's latest news suddenly gone. It was suddenly gone. They didn't even know what had happened. Of course, they wouldn't know that this was all because those small and medium-sized entertainment companies had moved after watching for a few days and realizing that Guxingyi hadn't made any moves. In the end, it was one of the three giants, a powerful capital that could never be fought by a single person. Reassured, the various companies began to make moves, and thus, the scene that was now on the internet appeared. The media no longer send out any topic related to Xia Shiyao. The major stars and netizens without Xia Shiyao's pressure also have begun to jump up. Even the relevant marketing number are slowly no longer released anything related to Xia Shiyao. All of this is the work of capital. Even the posts of netizens are controlled by the heat of the capital. Time seemed to press the stop button. Everything about Xia Shiyao's topic seemed to have stopped directly a week ago. The netizens who gradually came back to their senses could only pile up and stay under Xia Shiyao's Weibo and Gu Xingyi's Douyin to discuss it. Especially after they saw these clusters of demons on the latest hot search, they couldn't help but miss Xia Shiyao and Gu Xingyi even more. So many netizens began to ask for the reason under both of their Weibo and Douyin. Xia Shiyao's latest Weibo was the one that announced that she would be releasing an album on October 1st, and at this time, the number of comments under this Weibo had already exceeded 10 million, and the number of views was over 100 million. Still alive? What's the situation? How come there is no movement all of a sudden? Come out and say something? It's hard. Want to cry. Another day with no updates. Brothers, why don't you help me out? What the hell? Why isn't my post on the Hot 100 when so many people have liked and retweeted it? Right. Something doesn't feel right. No need for you to feel. It's just not right. This situation makes me vaguely think of a certain star at the time. Upstairs, you're saying it's the one that was blocked? It can't be? As time went by, netizens felt more and more that something was not right, especially when they suddenly realized that Xia Shiyao's blog tag used to have a logo that belonged to Sound and Sea Entertainment, but now, this logo was gone. Is Xia Shiyao blocked? Or has she retired again? For a while, all the netizens were a bit terrified inside. They had just heard a few good songs, and now they were told to listen to that garbage again. They really couldn't listen to it. Your ears have been spoiled by you. If you say it's not there, it's not there? The netizens went from puzzled at first, to probing, to angry, and this time, in addition to Xia Shiyao's Siege blog and Gu Xingyi's Douyin, Soundsea Entertainment's official blog was also being rushed rotten by them. The angry netizens were like headless flies, rushing around, and they were so angry in their hearts. The album hadn't even been heard yet. The album hasn't even been heard yet. At this moment, in the Tianmei Entertainment building, Lu Gao's secretary was wiping away her weak sweat, reporting on this matter. She didn't even expect that Xia Shiyao's disappearance would trigger such a big reaction from the netizens. Chairman, do we really not need to care? The internet is a crowd right now, and the companies below are all having a hard time. The cause of this incident was in Tianmei Entertainment, and when something happened, others would only point the finger at Tianmei. Lu Gao's complexion, however, was calm as he waved his hand. Don't worry about it. It's just a bunch of rabble. After the commotion, they will naturally disperse. They are all people who have to live their lives. No one is stupid enough to hold on to this. Lu Gao's words just fell. The office door was suddenly pushed open. The person who came was the head of the operations department. He was sweating profusely as he barged in, not waiting for Lu Gao to frown and speak. He was the first to open his mouth. Dong. Chairman, Gu Xingyi he sent out a roundup blog. Lu Gao continued to frown tightly with a look of impatience. Posting a Weibo is posting a Weibo. What's all the fuss about? Just continue to keep the heat of his Weibo down. But no one dares to lower it. The head of the operations department's voice took on a sobbing tone, and even trembled a little. He posted a song. The name is something called Against All Odds. No, that's not even the most important thing. The most important thing is, Huayang gave him a retweet and a like. Big event. Gu Xingyi finally posted a roundup blog. At first, because the heat was suppressed, the netizens still only knew about it by a small number of people, but now, this peripatetic blog directly soared to the first of the hot searches. You want to ask why? The central mom praised and forwarded the joy is great. Everyone in this moment as if in the darkness to find a beam of light, suffocated for a long time they hastily clicked on the central mom forwarded the blog. In the tweet, there was a video, and a long description of the situation. Hello, a long time no see everyone. Today's update of the Weibo is to make it clear to everyone about Xia Shiyao's recent situation. As you all can see, Xia Shiyao has cancelled her contract with Soundsea Entertainment. Of course, we belong to a peaceful breakup with Soundsea Entertainment. Don't get excited. Alas, the entertainment industry is not a good place to be. Some people don't want us to have a good time, and for no reason, they put a blocking order on my wife, Xia Shiyao. I don't think I need to tell you, you can guess who it is, and it's not Sound and Sea Entertainment anyway. Now, we can only come out and stand on our own, and here, I would like to say a word to those who feel that they only have their hands full in the entertainment industry. This sky, you guys can't cover it up. The new era of the entertainment industry will be revolutionized by us. The following song is titled Against All Odds. It's for you guys and for the netizens. Thank you netizens for your support and concern during this period of time. We will only fight injustice to the end. Come on, let's fight. Just by seeing these words, the netizens began to get excited. Sure enough, they had guessed correctly. It was Capital Oppressing Entertainment again. What has Hwa Entertainment become now? They even dared to oppress it. Now it's not easy for a treasure singer to come out. It's not easy for a divine lyricist to come out, and they even want to block it? In this instant, the anger in the hearts of the netizens was instantly ignited, and they didn't even have to think about the fact that if it wasn't Soundsea Entertainment, Hwa Entertainment would just be those two giants who could do such a thing. They didn't even look at what Hua Yang said when they retweeted it, and they hadn't even clicked on the video before the comments below exploded. Shit. It goes without saying. It's either Tianmei or Shangshur. Really think that we netizens of this session are dead, don't you? This isn't challenging our bottom line anymore. This is shitting on our heads. In the past 2 days, my eyes and ears have been polluted. Brothers? How so? This is still not a punch? They think they're the sky? I'm going to make this sky today. I can no longer hide my eyes. Let this keyboard turn into a sword to cut the sky. Come on. Be sensible. Brothers. You're just giving them heat by going now. From now on, as long as it's something that comes out of these two companies, we'll just boycott it. That's right. Upstairs is the right solution. See what the central mom says first. Then watch the video. And didn't Gu Xingyi say, he will fight to the end? It's good that we support it. Right. Watch the video first. After the netizens got excited, they then proceeded to look up the Roundup blog, only to see that Hua Yang's retweeted write-up was clearly, the song is great. If you can't make it in the entertainment industry, you can come to my Hua Yang. In addition, Hua Yang's new program Chasing Dreams with Redheart will be officially broadcast on Hua Yang channel tomorrow at 8 p.m., with the theme song uploaded to Hua Yin simultaneously. Trivia, the theme song is exclusively composed by Gu Xingyi. Welcome to Tune In on Time. What do you mean you can't get along in the entertainment industry? You can go to Hua Yin. Our vast number of netizens disagreed. The netizens naturally know that once Gu Xingyi goes to Hua Yang, there will definitely be fewer songs in the future. They won't be able to release songs at will. How can this work? Fortunately, Gu Xingyi immediately replied to Hua Yang. Thanks for the love, Mom, I won't go to Hua Yang. This interaction. This reply. The deep netizens were satisfied. At this instant, the netizens who saw this couldn't help but nod their heads. Gu Xingyi could only be in the entertainment industry. Can't go anywhere. As for his hotness, it would be guarded by them. Immediately after, netizens clicked on the video with excitement. It's been a long time since they've heard this Thence new song. It's been a long time since I've heard this Thence new song. Clicking on the video, in the video, Gu Xingyi was wearing a denim jacket, eyes closed, holding the microphone in his hand, raising it high, full of fighting spirit. The next moment, the music started. The rapid melody brought by the electric guitar matched with the electronic synthesized Battlefield song, making everyone unable to stop bobbing their heads up and down along with it. Then Gu Xingyi in the video snapped his eyes open, holding the microphone, the hem of his coat swung, and the song started. On this windy battlefield, the musical teenager takes the stage. In triumph over the blazing fire's heavy roar, the whole world is clamored. The smoke flies wildly as a signal that the age of entertainment is coming, and hot blood flows against the current. The chariots are burning hot. And the warriors are unstoppable. Yeah. The drums fell steeply, and Gu Xingyi jumped up with the music as he raised his hand high and then dropped it heavily. All the netizens who heard this unconsciously swayed their bodies along with him. Some of them were even still frying their dishes, and they began to involuntarily wave their spatulas in their hands. The song continued. Come on, Counter-Strike is here. Ace to be wild. Trespassing the universe to set the world right. Oh, against the odds, 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 against the odds. Ace wants to let off steam. Fighting is where our stubbornness begins. I'll maneuver my way to the top. I'll make my presence felt. Watch this dragon battle in the wild. This battlefield of 1,000 fighters. Racing forward. Warriors who will shake the world. Fighting again. What's a battle song? It's called a battle song. It's so hot. Gu Xingyi, this bastard. Writing the song was still so steady. The netizens listening to the song were boiling over. They quickly tapped their fingers on the screen, one by one itching to transform into a key god at the moment. Against the war. Against the war. Wild. Ace wants to vent. Don't you guys want to block? Come on. Go to war. Whoever wimps out is a grandson. Battle song. Woohoo, how long has it been since I've heard a battle song in the entertainment industry? It's so enjoyable. Ha 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 ha. Brothers, let me tell you guys a joke. I just saw a media outlet posting about Xia Shiyao's dynamic. It's really messing with the sun. They couldn't hold it in when Central Mom came down. Laugh your ass off. I saw it too, Now even the marketing numbers are coming out. Blocking? Gu Xingyi, I beg you to block it. Central Mom, block who? Ha 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 ha. Gu Xingyi's One Siege blog, a song against the odds, made the originally anxious netizens instantly find their belonging. That man, still there. With an almost invincible stance, he broke the inherent posture of the entertainment industry, and with his talent, he stood out in a high-profile way, announcing a new era of the entertainment industry, officially arriving. At this moment, the most difficult than those media and those independent marketing number, their hearts have screamed bitter, before the pressure of the capital to them, they in the wait-and-see 2 days, like before, succumbed to the capital. I did not expect Gu Xingyi, the old six, waiting for them here. Huayang had all nodded and forwarded it, so could they, Huayang's juniors, not keep up the pace? It's so hard. It's the new year. It's New Year's Eve. As Gu Xingyi's siege blog became more and more hot, more and more netizens caught wind of it, they excitedly clicked on this siege blog that they had been waiting for so long, and then looked delighted. Sure enough, it still had to be Gu Xingyi. Only the songs of this cub breed could mesmerize them. And it's not just today's song against all odds, tomorrow Huayang has another song Chasing Dreams Red Heart, and the day after that, Xia Shuriyao's album is online, which not only contains a few songs from the previous Star Song exchange, but also a mysterious new song. Love. Love. Netizens felt an instant burst of happiness. This is really the new year. The online heat completely exploded, and as various media and marketing numbers came down on the scene, not only Weibo, but even Headline, Douyin, and even the UC Shock department all joined in. For a while, Gu Xingyi's This Peripatetic blog and Huayang's retweeted Peripatetic blog, at the same time, ascended to the first and second of the various software's hot lists, while the previous first of the hot lists had long been squeezed out, and could only shiver in the third. In Tianmei Entertainment, Lu Gao looked at the blog that was at the top of the list, his face was gloomy to the extreme. He never thought that Huayang would come out and stand up. Which of those star singers in the past were not the playthings of capital? Even if Gu Xingyi and Xia Shuriyao's hotness was high before, he hadn't even put it in his mind. Because the heat will always pass, can always be suppressed, once the heat is gone, everything will return to silence. Capital could never be defeated, because no one could refuse cooperation for profit.